Hey everybody, welcome to the webinar, live training session number 2 for the Christmas challenge. Getting organized here. I do have a bit of a cold still, I apologize. Yeah, welcome aboard. Just give me a 1 in the chat box if you can see the screen and hear me okay. Right on, good. All right, so today I'm gonna dive right in, no fluff at all. We have to cover a lot of ground, so the plan for today is to show you stage 1 of the rocket method. So I'll set that up right in front of you and launch it. And then I'm also going to show you the slow and steady method. So there's 2 different routes you can take when you're launching these necklaces. Each one does work. The rocket method is built more for scaling quickly. The slow and steady method is built more for moving, just like it says, slow and steady. So the slow and steady is like an old method that I've used for a long time. Some of you may have seen it before, but it still does work. So I'm going to demonstrate that for everybody just to make sure we're all on the same page. I'm going to talk a lot about targeting today because you're like, well, what do I target? You know, I've got this necklace going out to, we have to target a dad who's buying it for a daughter. So how do I do that? Like, is there an interest on Facebook that says dad buying something for his daughter? Well, no, there's not. So we have to make sure that we target things that we think may be appropriate. So you'll see what I mean as I do it. So I'm just going to go here. We need a couple assets too. So the first thing we need is we're going to need the URL, obviously, but we're also going to need an image. So the beauty of these is we have 2 choices here we can pick. I would love to have a mock-up that has like a human in it, like a human face or a human hand or something, because the human stuff works a little bit better on Facebook. They actually have technology where they can see what is in the image itself. So the box is nice because it's different and it works. The necklace itself is like an old school way too that you can do, but I'm going to go with this. So what you need to do is you need to save this to your computer, and I'll put it in right in here. So just create a folder. I've got this one, Christmas challenge. I'm just going to save that one as static.jpg. Then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to open up Photoshop. I'm going to open up that file, and I just want to make it, I want to resize it basically. So let's go here. There we go. So I've got this, and then if I go to image size, you can see it's 480 by 480. So it's a little small for Facebook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it square. I'm just going to make it bigger. So 1080 by 1080. Now, if you don't have Photoshop, you can use programs like GIMP, which is free. And all we're doing is resizing an image. So it's very simple. Then export as PNG, and I'll save this as my 1080 one. Save. There. That's it. That's the image that I'm going to use on my Facebook ads right there. So I got that. So now I'm going to go into my account, and I'm going to create the first campaign. So let's go in here. So go create. And in here, I don't think I have anything running in here right now in this account because I've created like 3 new ones since. So the way I start these is I will go with simply this, the campaign number. So in my case, I think I have to go number 34. So I always put 00 in front of it because when you're sorting campaigns, you can see some old ones on the left there where I didn't number them, and it's very jumbled and hard to see. Start with 001 and then the version number. So in this case, I'm on campaign 34, version 1. So why 1? Because I know I'm going to have more versions in this campaign, and versions just mean like more campaigns for the same product. So now in my ad account, 0034 is like the identifier for that necklace, To My Daughter, You Are Amazing on Teespring. So when I'm creating my custom audiences later and my lookalike audiences later, all I need to put in is 0034, and that will list everything. But when you have multiple products running, it can get confusing trying to look through custom audiences and lookalikes. So the best way to do it is just give each product a unique campaign number in your Facebook ad account. All right, hope that makes sense. So now I'll just go like this. I'll say Teespring. I'll put the date. And we are in the morning right now, but I don't recommend you start stuff during the day anymore. Always go to the next day at 12 o'clock a.m. So that's that, and then this is going to be a conversion campaign. They all are. So now I'm just going to go here and take the name right off, copy that title exactly as I have it. This helps me later if I'm going back through campaigns and I forgot about this one, maybe it didn't work and I want to check on it, then I know that this title is identical to this title. Plus I know this number 0034 identifies this campaign on Teespring. So now we get to this new category thing. Doesn't matter to me, so I don't need to check it. This is when Facebook got in trouble for excluding people from housing ads, which is bizarre to me. Like, why would a business have to focus on a potential market that's never going to buy from them? I don't get it, but somebody raised a stink and Facebook had to put this in now, so that's why that's there. Auction is always this. I've never really done reach and frequency, to be honest. For this, we go to conversions. And then they have a split test thing. We're not going to use that right now. And this is what they want. They want you to do this campaign budget optimization. So by default, it will be on. And that's where you set the budget at the campaign level. In stage 2, we'll be doing this. In stage 1, we're turning it off. So then I go here, and now my numbering is like this, 0034-01. That identifies the campaign number and the version. And then ad set is 1. And again, I love my double zeros in front. I'm just going to put the date. And then for the ad, I'm going to use the same ad, so with the same post ID. So just put this in, put the date. I always like to put the date in, and then add 1. So this interest, I'll just swap that out with whatever I want to put in for the interest, and then save to draft. So that will go to this little screen, which has the nice panels now, which is different from like even a year ago, but that's cool. So we've got our campaign, ad set, ad. So here we go to the ad set level. And what we want to do is cross this out, go here, make sure you have this Pixel Helper app, Facebook Pixel Helper extension, installed in Chrome. Because when I reload the page, you'll see that it's showing my pixel, and this is Teespring's pixel. So Teespring is tracking this too, because they will run retargeting as well for this. So this is ours, and you'll see a lot of people get confused because they see this little warning, but this warning doesn't mean anything. It just means we don't have a catalog set up for our products, but it will still work. So how this works is we have the campaign URL, no matter how old. See right there. Content type is product. Content IDs, no matter how old. Value. So they're passing this through to Facebook, which I personally do not like, because now we're telling Facebook what we're getting paid, and I believe this is the reason that Facebook ad costs have gone up in the past little while, because everybody and their dog started passing values through just so they could have a column that showed website purchase value, and I believe that has screwed up the whole system. It's just raised costs overall. So I don't like it, but I'm in the minority on that. Content name is basically the title of the product right on the page. But all we're really concerned about later on when we're making custom audiences, not today, but in the next call, this is how we're going to do it. The campaign URL is going to equal no matter how old, which is this right here. Okay. So this Facebook Pixel Helper extension just shows you all the information that is being sent to Facebook. So if you don't have it, install it. Just literally go to Google, type in Facebook Pixel Helper, and you'll get that. All right. And right here, let's go back. So I know I need this pixel, 149, purchases. So I want to do the purchase event. We don't want to do add to cart. We don't want to do view content because they don't work. So you'll get if you do view content, you'll get a lot of people that view your page and they don't really add to cart and they don't buy. If you optimize for add to cart here, you're going to get lots of people that add to cart, but they don't buy. If you optimize for purchase, you're going after the meat. You're going after the best ones, the premium people within that audience that you're targeting. And I'll talk more about that in a second. But, well, even right now, I have this wide open with like no targeting. I think it's just, it defaults to Canada for me. So let's change this to the United States because I want to show you something. We're talking about that. All right. So if I leave it wide open on the United States, there's 230 million people that would be in this audience if I didn't do any targeting at all. Now, within this 230 million people, not all of them will fit under this criteria. Not all of these 230 million are buyers. Only a fraction of them have actually bought stuff on Facebook. And you're like, well, how the heck does Facebook know if they bought something? Because Facebook tracks everything. They know everything about everybody. And what do you think this pixel is doing? It's gathering data for Facebook so that Facebook can then, when other advertisers and you are saying, I only want buyers, they'll go through their database and they'll only show the ad to people who are buyers, right? And then when they run out of those, then they'll go to everybody else. So it's not 230 million people we're targeting. That's the audience size. It's actually a fraction of that we're actually showing the ad to. Okay, so just so we're clear on that. That's why if you do view content, then Facebook has segmented that 230 million into people who view stuff, people who add to cart, and people who purchase. So if you target view content, you're not necessarily targeting people who buy. If you target add to cart, you're not necessarily targeting people who buy. If you target purchase, you're targeting people who buy. So it costs most, but it's also the best one to use. Even if you have not made a sale yet, go with this. I know a lot of guys say don't do that. They're like, well, start with view content and then do add to cart. And then after you've wasted $5,000, then do purchase. I don't agree. Go for purchase right away. Facebook's smart. They're not humans. They don't wait around. They're not lazy. As soon as they get sales, they start optimizing based on those sales. So people always say like, I need 50 conversions. I need 100. I need 1,000 before I can do that. Baloney. Not true. You know, there's what Facebook says and then there's what actually happens. And they're usually two different things. Anyway, moving on. We're going to leave dynamic creative off. We're going to leave the offer off. We're going to set the daily budget on this one. This is our stage 1 test campaign for the rocket method to $10 per ad set. So 10 bucks. And now always start it. Just get in the habit of this. 12 o'clock a.m. For some reason, when I set up my ad account, I set it to Pacific time, and I really wish I didn't do that because I'm in Eastern and it always screws me up. But anyway, make sure when you create your ad account that you set it to the right time zone. So we just keep scrolling down, and now here, when we get into the lookalikes, the list here, and then the custom audiences and all that, or all of them, you'll see why I number them. I've got a whole bunch in here. That's just a few that they're showing. So there's like a lot of audiences, and you can get confused. Set your location to United States. And now here is where we get into the good stuff. So we want to target men because they're dads, and then we want to set the age. So what age do we set it to? Start here at 40 plus. And then we'll look at the data and we'll see which segment within the 40 plus age range actually works best. But I'll tell you right now from my testing, if you go like 30 plus or 25 plus, the younger guys are not buying these necklaces for their little babies and toddlers because they'll never wear them. And if they do give it to them, they'll eat it and they'll probably choke. So from a human standpoint, don't do that. It doesn't work. I've tested it. Number two, I've tested this stuff. I'm in this niche very deep and I know what age range works best. It's not 40 plus, but that's where you're going to start. I'll show you what it is and it will show itself in the next call too. But we need to start there because we need to gather some data. So 40 plus men in the US, that's our baseline demographic that we're going to be targeting. And you're saying, well, how do I know if they have a daughter? You don't. You don't. They could have no kids, which is rare, but it does happen. They could have only a son. They could have multiple sons. They could have a son and daughter. They could have one daughter. They could have multiple daughters. We don't know. So that's where that little pixel thing is going to send information to the campaign and the ad account, and it's going to start optimizing based on people who look like other people. Okay, so we need to feed it some data so that Facebook learns, hey, the probability of this guy having a daughter is higher than this guy, so we'll show it to the first person instead of the second. But there is no interest. There's no relationship status that says I only have a daughter. There's nothing on Facebook that we can do. So you might be like, well, that sucks. I'm not doing that then. Okay, you just sit on the sideline and we'll all move ahead with this because this is not theory. This is what I do. This is practice. So now let's get into the detail targeting. So the first one, you're like, all right, so it's a man, and if he likes his daughter, I'm gonna type daughter in here. Ooh, daughter. There's an interest. Oh, 360,000 men, 40 plus in the U.S. Like daughter. So cool. That's an interest. You know what? Why don't we try that? Let's try that one. Okay. Good. And then I'll show you in a second what else we can do with that. So I'm just going to copy that interest. I'm going to replace it up here. So now my first ad set is the number to identify it, the date, and then daughter. And then I keep scroll back down here. Now for placements, I do not want to run auto placements yet. Of course, Facebook recommends it because they want you to spend as much money as possible. Your goal is to spend as much money as possible profitably. Facebook doesn't care about the profitably part. They don't. They would just blow money left, right, and center. So they want to go everywhere they can. And some of the places that they'll show the ads just don't work. So we want to edit the placements and we want to start with just the feeds. So how do we do that? Hit this minus thing and then we get that and then we'll go feeds only. So Facebook news feed. And then they still want to do stories. Well, I don't. They still want you to do in-stream. Nope. They still want you to do search. Nope. They still want you to do messages. I don't know why that's off, but in article, no thank you. App and sites, no thank you. And that's about it. So they've changed how this looks from other training that you've seen, which is good that you're in here because you're seeing the most up-to-date dashboards we've got too. Now, we're going to run this on mobile and desktop to start. I know which one works best, but I'm not going to give it away right at the front. I'm going to start as if you're starting it too. Now we're going to optimize for ad delivery. Here's where we've got value, conversions, landing page views, other options. We're going to do conversions. Okay, and now for the conversion window, this is confusing, but it basically says it's the amount of time it typically takes for someone to complete a valuable action, i.e. the conversion, after clicking or viewing your ad. And then they're going to use that data using that time frame to optimize the ad delivery, right? So what does this mean? Well, I use 7-day click or 1-day view when I'm promoting something that has a, like, they don't buy it right away. It's not an impulse buy. So maybe I'm doing a lead generation campaign and I know that they will convert within like 7 days to maybe a buyer, but the odds are it's going to take a while because they need to go through a whole bunch of marketing sequences and promo sequences and email sequences before they become a buyer. In that case, I'll use 7-day click or 1-day view. What I prefer for our purposes is this 1-day click or view because this will target more of the impulse buyers within the purchase segment of this audience that we've defined. All right. Hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, just go with what I show you. That's the easiest way. Cost control, we're going to leave it open. So this is an auto bid campaign. We're not going to use manual bidding. When you get charged for impression, can't change that. Delivery type, they do have standard and accelerated. So we're going to use standard. Okay, that's what we typically do. So our first ad set with the targeting is set up. That takes the longest. Now we need to do the ad. Let's go in here and we're going to use our page. This is one of my big pages I've run a lot of necklaces on that you guys will probably go and check out, I guarantee. So it's awesome family stuff. And then I'm going to create the ad. Now I need my image. So you can do videos. People always say videos convert better. I haven't found that personally. So if it does for you, great. It hasn't for me. Static images are still beating video. So I don't know why. I don't know if it's my ad account has been so full of static images that that's all they optimize for. But static images have worked best. So, and you'll see too, even on big guys doing big product launches and all that, they always mix up static images with video. So don't go just video to start. I don't know why, but they just don't convert as well. So maybe your mileage may vary, but for me, it's images. So I'm going to select the image. I'm going to upload. I'm going to grab it from here. Let's drag this to the middle. Let's go website here, challenges. There's my 1080 by 1080. right there. So I'm going to continue, and there it is. So that looks pretty good. Now we need some text. So tell people what it's about. So I want to put some emojis in here. So to get these emojis, I go to here, this little program called piliapp.com, PILIAPP.com, and then it's /Facebook symbols. Okay, and I like this one because you can actually see how many you can use, but you can search for things too. So if I go here and I type in heart, you see my options. So all these different hearts I can put into my ad, which is very cool. So maybe this one I'll go with, well, I don't know. Maybe I'll just do a plain heart. So I click it and then I click copy. And I go back to my ads manager, click in here, and I'm going to paste it. I'm going to do 3 of them. I'm going to put perfect Christmas gift for any daughter. Yes, Christmas gift. Yes, we're still in September. This ad is going to run all the way through to Christmas. So yeah, this is what I want to do. That's why we're here, right? Now, Facebook has recently made a change where they only show the first 3 lines instead of the first 7 lines. So I used to put spaces here, but now I can't. Get her one here. Then all I'm going to do is grab the URL from Teespring, copy, paste. Even there it's cut off, but oh well. And then I'll say this. Let me try something here. That move it right down. Oh, they just took out my line space anyway. Yeah, this is how, well, I'm going to set it up how I used to, and you'll see they're removing my line break. So you then put, she will love this and love that you thought her in such a sweet way. Get her one now and give it as the perfect Christmas gift. There. Now, headline, or actually, let's put the URL down here too. Website URL there. And then the headline, you can see on the right-hand side, it defaults to like teespring.com, to my daughter, you're amazing. That's cool, but I want a call to action here. So click here. Now you can say for details, but this has been working nicely lately. Click here for pricing, because you're going to buy the thing, right? So you need to know how much it costs. Good, click there, I'll tell you on the page. And then get her one now. There we go. Now on this call to action button, they have a couple options. You can use shop now. I find learn more tends to work a little, convert a little bit better than shop now. I don't know why. On the retargeting ads, you can certainly use shop now, but this is cold traffic, so let's just go with learn more. And then just make sure your Facebook pixel is turned on and it's the right one. So this is the ID that I need. When I go to the page, you can see it's right here. These match. That means it will be tracking correctly. There will be times where you forget this, and maybe if you have multiple pixels and you put the wrong one in, you might be going, oh crap, I got the wrong one. Then you have to go back and fix it. So now I've got the first ad set done, review and publish. And why am I publishing this now? Because I need to grab that post ID. So let's let that upload. Facebook, there we go. Now it goes to the ad tab, and I put a checkbox beside this one. I go preview. And then this little thing, add preview, I click it, and I go Facebook post with comments. And then it's this little number on the end that I need. Okay. Now it goes to this www.facebook.com, which is fine, but I can't really do anything with it. So replace the www with business.facebook.com, and now you're into where you can moderate comments. So if somebody's writing stupid comments on here, being negative in any way, shape, or form, hide the comment, ban the person, and delete the comment. Don't respond. And I know some people say, oh, don't do that. Let the comments flow. Let them go. Because anytime you ban people, it's a bad sign to Facebook. No, that's BS. You can't let negativity grows like a cancer on these ads. And one negative comment can just kill your sales completely. So be on top of that. I usually leave the ad open in a tab like this in a browser. And then I'll just check it like maybe once a day. I'll come in and just check the comments. And I'll make sure that nobody's being a jerk, basically. Because if they're being a jerk, that's bad. Number two, when we look at the ad preview, we want to click our links. So click that link, make sure that they're working. Click that link, make sure that's working. Okay, because I can't tell you how many times it's actually more than I want to admit that I've typed in the URL wrong or I've entered the URL wrong. Then I've started up the ads. I'm like, why aren't I getting any sales or any add to cart or any view content or anything? Then I go and check my ad and I type the freaking URL wrong or I put it in wrong on the image. So you can't do that. So just get in the habit of when you're doing this preview, go ahead and check your links. All right, so that's what it's going to look like. Pretty cool. Looks very good. Now let's go back here. And now we're going to speed things up a little bit. Let's go edit, which pulls out that window. And now here, there's this is the ad set. There's a little thing called quickly duplicate or control D. So I'm going to click that. And it just does a duplicate of the ad set in the ad with the word copy beside it. So I'm going to change this to number 2. I'm going to scroll down. I'm just going to change the detailed targeting. So here, I wish there's like, here's parents with preschoolers 0 to 3 to 5 years old. Wonderful, but that's not who I'm after. Family, son, preteens, early school, teenagers. Believe me, I've tried these all. This one, though, seems to work the best. So we're going to do parents all. So at least now I know it's a parent. And you can see the number goes down to 7.3 million. Men 40 plus in the US, but not all of those will be targeted because not all of them fit the purchase criteria. It's only a percentage that do. So I just changed that to parents all. Now on ad set number 2, I have to go into the ad and I have to use existing post. And then right here, see where it says enter post ID? Well, what am I going to put there? Post ID. This means that I'm using the same post ID for every ad set that I'm running. So all my different interests are running the same one, which means this ad is going to act as a collector, and all the likes, shares, and comments and interactions are going to pool together to make the ad even stronger. So when Facebook sees a lot of interaction on an ad, it sends a good signal to the algorithm that, hey, our users like this. So let's lower his ad costs so we can show it to more people. Whereas if you get no likes, no comments, if people like report your ad, you're going to be in trouble. Facebook's going to go, okay, well, this ad sucks. Our users don't like it, so we're not going to show it to anybody. So just be wary of that. So now I've got ad set number 2 ready. I'm not going to upload it, but I'm going to go here, quickly duplicate, and now I'm just going to scroll down, and I'm going to switch out this. So what am I going to do next? I'll just do married guys. So you can see how simple this is. I'm going very broad in my targeting because I know generally my niche, dad to daughter, is based on demographic more than anything. The actual breakdowns of the, married, parents all, daughter, it doesn't matter that much. It's just subdividing the niche. And now you notice I didn't change the ad in that one because on this ad set, I did a duplicate of the one that has the existing post. So now I can just make these small changes, change the number, and change the interest, and the post ID will carry through. So here I'm going to go suggestions. Okay, well, maybe they like family. Sounds good. And here's the thing. Based on how you've set up your ad, we recommend trying the following to avoid getting 0 conversions. They're really trying to scare you here to say that your pixel doesn't have enough power yet. Don't worry about it though. So then I keep doing this. And now you can see I'm not being super picky on any of this, but maybe I'll do divorced ads now. And where am I coming up with these? Well, these are stuff I've run in the past. So I basically test a lot of different things. I'm even going to ask you guys, come up, if you have an interest that you want me to test, put it in the chat box and I'll create an ad set and test it just to show you how targeting is not the key in this niche at all. It's more making sure your demographic is right and making sure your pixel has some power and just making sure you set things up right. So I can literally throw out an interest and I can test it, and you'll be shocked at what works and what doesn't. So here now I'll get into some of my good stuff, like this one. Engage shoppers. These are people who have clicked on the call to action button and shop now in the past week. Pretty cool interest target, right? And you're like, well, what does that have to do with daughters? Nothing. I'm just playing the odds here, and I'm relying on my pixel to find people that look like previous buyers. Now, what season are we coming into? My favorite. And you're thinking, well, are you nuts? You're going to target like basketball for just for people with a dad to daughter necklace? That makes no sense. Well, actually, we might need National Basketball Association. There it is. So check this out. That's my targeting. I don't know why it's so small. 210 million. This number is not always accurate. So yeah, one of my ad sets is going to be National Basketball Association. So go ahead, type an interest that you think I should target. Or if you don't know the interest, what's the first thing that comes to mind? A baseball team, a basketball team, a movie, a word that describes somebody, a TV show, whatever you said, movie, type of car, a hobby. Give me a hobby. Why don't we start there? Give me a hobby in the chat box that people do, and I'll show you how easy this is to target for dad to daughter stuff. Let's see what we got. So that's basketball, and then I might say, okay, well, you know, football season's here too. It's not a league dummy. There it is. So football, NFL. Target that. Why not? Okay, so we've got firefighters. All right, why don't we target firefighters for this too? Good call. Give me more. So next one, firefighters from the chat. And you'll be like, well, there's no way that's going to get a sale because how do they know if it's a dad with a daughter? Well, Facebook knows. Firefighter. There we go. So for a dad to daughter necklace, I'm targeting firefighter. Does it make any sense? No. Does it work? Yep. Dog lovers. Okay. So let's do another duplicate. And I need 15 of these for stage 1. So I need a couple more. So let's go dog lovers. That's actually a really good one because they are passionate people. Dog lovers. And even though it's saying fewer than 1,000, I know that's not right. That's just a bug. There's way more than that. Oh, that's number 10. And let's keep going. What else we got? What else? Give me something. What comes to mind? I love my family. Cat lovers. Okay. You got it. I love my family. Is that an interest? It is. Right on. I love my family. That's probably a pretty good one. Oh, damn it. Copied it by accident. So let's change that to number 11. And let's keep going. What else we got here? Yep, love it. NASCAR. No, not work. Oops, I don't want that one. Not the employer. Wow, there's 33,880 people work for NASCAR. My God, that's insane. But I want the interest, not the. Look at that, 4 million. Love it, love it, love it. What do Americans really like? What's their favorite thing? And this might be a bad way to word it, but What am I very passionate about? Single parent happiness. Ooh, happiness. Yes, happiness is a good one. No targeting is an option. Not yet, though. What about this? What if I target that? Which brings me to, associations of any kind work. But the NRA, they love guns. They are passionate people. They want to protect their family. Oh, I did it again. They want to protect their family. So whether you believe in guns or not, or gun control or whatever, I don't care. I just want to make money selling daughter necklaces. So NRA it is. Now, that's probably going to send me to a review, but I don't care. I have plenty of time for this to get reviewed. So I need, what, 2 more? Let's do the old standby. Just give you guys another idea. What if somebody likes happiness? Crazy, just so crazy, it might work because it does. So 13 million men in the US, 40 plus, are interested in happiness. What a thought. Let's target them. And now what else we got? We got one more. Yeah, online shopping's a good one. Somebody said cat lovers too. Let's do cat lovers. Pets of all kinds, animals of all kinds, sports of all kinds, hobbies of all kinds. It all just works. And I'll show you a couple more in this little study here too. There we go. So I've got 15 interests. And what a mix. Firefighter, parents all, National Football League, cat lovers, NBA, married, family, divorced, dog lovers, NASCAR, happiness, I love my family, engaged shoppers, National Rifle Association, and daughter. Who would have thought you would ever set up a campaign to target that like hodgepodge of interests, right? Me, because that's what we do. This is why I'm not afraid to show you guys this niche, because you can go in and literally anything that pops into your head, target it, try it. Why not? Because as long as you have the demographic set up, men, and the right age range, you're good to go. Then everything else is just dividing that demographic up into different chunks. You could put like pizza as an interest if you wanted. You could put IKEA. You could put Amazon.com. There's no limit to what you can put in there. So if we're all going after the same interests, even that isn't going to be a problem because there's millions and millions and millions of people within those interests. So I hope, if anything, you take away from that, you see that, holy crap, my options are really unlimited in this niche. This thing could work for a long time for a lot of people and make a lot of people a lot of money, and it has. So I hope you guys see that. Um, so what do we do now? So we've got that. We'll do in review. Let's filter it. Or in draft. Click it. Where'd you go? Uploaded. So now I can do search by campaign name. What was it? 3-4. Oh, scheduled. Right, because it's starting. So it is in review. You might see this too. I want to show you this. If you see not delivering no ads, it's just because the actual dashboard is a little bit behind the actual account. So see when I do a refresh, now they're all in review. The ones that say scheduled have been approved. Okay, so it goes from in review to scheduled, and then this will say active starting the 18th at midnight. And what we do with this campaign is we just let it run for a day, 24 hours, and then we can shut it off. If we have winners within it, we can keep the winners running, but we don't need to, because we're going to do something with those winners on the next call, which is pluck them out and put them into a CBO campaign with a bigger budget. So we're basically throwing up 15 tests, $10 each, and we're just going to say, show me what you got, Facebook. Which one of these are producing views? Which one of these are producing add to cart? Which one of these are producing purchases? And the order that we go of importance is the purchases go first, as far as into a CBO on their own, then website add to carts, and then website content views. All right, but we will show you that on the next call. The key is get that set up, get it scheduled, get it ready to go. So I've got that one running. that's the rocket method stage 1. Now I'm going to show you the other one, the slow and steady. So I'm just going to copy that so it saves typing. Create campaign name. This is a different campaign. This is still a method that you can use. I'm giving you 2 today. And we will start this one, same thing. So notice I just put -02. You can even put in here if you wanted, like the method, just so you'll know, but so you can glance at it. And it's going to be the same setup, basically. So I go conversions, turn off CBO, and here I'm going to put 0034-02-001, the date. I'm going to start it. Yeah, John. So NRA and guns, I did say stay away from them, but I brought them back in, and all I found is it's just a manual review now, and then they'll set them live. So once they see that I'm not actually targeting a gun thing, then they usually let it go. If you have an ad account that's had a lot of disapproved ads in the past, maybe steer clear of the gun stuff, because Facebook really, as soon as they see any of those interests, it's automatically flagged and it goes to manual review. It can take a little bit longer. If you want to avoid that, just avoid the gun stuff. So, yes. Now in here, I'm going to try a couple other things. I'm going to give you one of my best ones, hunting. So I know I'm going to start with that. And then September. All right, so this is going to move a little bit quicker because we already have the ad done. So in here, I'm going to go filter by selection, just move that over. And then I'm going to go edit to bring up this window. So now I know I'm just in this campaign. And my first ad set I'm going to set up as hunting. So again, it's a conversion campaign. I do not want to use add to cart. Just type in the first 3 digits of your pixel, go to purchase. And in here, for the slow and steady, I think the sweet spot on these is 20 bucks a day. If you go lower on the slow and steady, you can. It just takes a little bit longer. If you go too high, it'll burn through money initially, and your rules will actually turn it off before the data even reports. Or they just, when you give Facebook too much free reign, they go out and they test some stuff that they might not do if they had a smaller budget. So leave it at 20 for the slow and steady. Leave it at 10 for the other one. Now set this one to start, 18th, 12 o'clock a.m. And the other thing too, you don't have to just do United States. You can do other countries. You can do worldwide. Ooh, I don't know what that, took that wrong. But you can start with the United States because they do convert well. But there are some niches that actually, like the UK, converts way better than the States, or Canada converts way better than the States. So if you're getting some traction in one country, there's nothing wrong with creating another campaign to target another country, or even ad sets within the slow and steady. You could go to other countries too. So if I'm going to do that in the future, then I might want to put like USA hunting. Okay, and I just keep scrolling down. Oh, ads approved, right on. Got a little notice there. And now my targeting, so I know I'm going to do hunting because it works. 12 million people in there. Set up my placements. Hit that little minus, hit the checkbox. Facebook feeds only. Remove everything else for now. We will hit these on retargeting, but not right now. And then the other change is 1 day clicker view. Scroll all the way up, make sure I got that set. Now I'm going to go here to the ad, and I'm going to use existing because, hey, I have this ad already created. There's nothing wrong with firing 2 campaigns or 3 campaigns or 4 campaigns at the same ad. And some people might say, well, shouldn't you be split testing and shouldn't you be doing this and 3 ads per ad set? And not yet. Nope, not yet. Later, yes. Now, no. So that pulls it right up. That makes it easy, right? So now I've got to go, boom, quickly duplicate, and I'm going to change one thing. And what I'm going to do here is outdoor recreation. Why? Why not? I'll put that up here. And you could even do the same interest that you targeted in the stage 1. Just going to do a quick duplicate. And let's go fishing. So I got hunting, fishing, outdoor recreation. And I'm going to show you a TV show. And you guys that have seen some of my training in the past, you're like, I know what he's going to do. If you know the TV show I'm going to target, put it in the chat there. I'll start typing. Duck Dynasty. Okay. Why Duck Dynasty? Because people who watch it buy necklaces. That's the only logic. There is no logic to targeting. They're just like subdividing up the big demographic pool into different chunks. So let's go with, and somebody on the other one said this, online shopping, you can do this there. So it's people who have expressed an interest or like in online shopping. So we can do that. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you one other thing here. Let's say we want to do married people, which we did in the other one, right? But now let's subdivide it. So say you ran it in the other one and you saw married was getting added to carts and purchases. You're like, okay, married people are working. How can I expand on that? Well, you put married in there, and then you go narrow audience, and then you go, okay, if they're married and they like hunting, let's target them. So you can see that broke it down. So now they have to be married and be interested in hunting. Cool, eh? So now you can do married and everything else. You can do divorced and everything else. You can do in a relationship and everything else. You can do it's complicated and everything else. Like it's really cool how you can narrow audiences, which means it's and hunting instead of just plain old hunting. So this is different targeting from the hunting ad set, and it's different targeting from the plain old married ad set. Cool, right? So I kind of got ahead of myself on that, but I'll show you once we have some data. On the next call, we'll go through the data and we'll pluck out what's working, and then we can dig deeper within that interest. So if married is working, we're like, cool, now let's subdivide married into a whole bunch of different interests and see if we can find pockets of people within that like certain interests that we can use. So now I'm going to upload this, and you're like, okay, cool. Sloan said he's done, right? Well, nope. Now, notice on the other campaign, I did not use any rules. And I didn't use any rules because it's only running for 24 hours. So I'm basically going to shut it off on the 19th. The ones that get sales, I might leave it running, but it's only $10 per ad set. I'm just trying to throw it out to see which interests are sticking the best. But this one, slow and steady, I do need rules. So go to the campaign level, click on this rule drop down, create new rule, and then apply rule 2 active ad sets. We're going to turn it off if it spends an amount greater than whatever we type in here. So now we have to figure this out. So this is $59.99. My margin on this is $41.74. So how do I know that? Because I know what the base cost is from Teespring. Shipping costs don't apply because the person pays shipping on top of what I charge. And then that amount just is deducted by Teespring automatically. So you don't have to worry about shipping costs when you're using a POD platform. So $59.99 minus the base cost leaves me $41.74. I believe this is off the top of my head with Teespring. So I've got $41.74 to play with. If I want to make at least $10 per sale, then my trigger point here is going to be $31.74. So if spend is greater than $31.74 and there's no sale, so I go website conversions, Facebook pixel, purchases is smaller than 1, meaning 0, but you can't put equal to 0 for some reason, I don't know why. So if they've spent, if the ad set spent that without a sale over the lifetime, turn it off. That's my first rule. Now I'm going to do something here too. 3, 4. So I know what campaign it's for. This is rule number 1. Turn off ad set if spent is greater than 31.74. And where did I come up with that? Took my 41.74 revenue minus $30 for an ad cost, leave me $10 profit per sale. And Purchases less than 1. Lifetime. Now I'm going to copy this and shut her down. Now I need one other rule. So I'm going to go create a new rule. Active ad sets, turn it off. Now, if it got a sale, I need rules too. So this rule is basically double your previous rule, which is, need my calculator because I'm having a brain fart. So I'll do this on here, 31.74. Oh, there, to get one sale. So 2 times that is 63.48. So what is that for? Well, if it spends 63.48, you could round these off too if you wanted to. And in this case, website conversion, Facebook pixel, scroll down, purchases is greater than 0. And then we need one more condition. Plus, hit that. Oops. Scroll down to cost per website conversion, Facebook pixel. Cost per purchase is greater than, again, then we're going to turn it off. Now, they put this lifetime thing in here because Facebook is saying, no, wait, give us 8,000 impressions before the rule runs because then we can spend more of your money. So we're not worried about your costs, we're only worried about us. And so you go, no, go away, Facebook. Hit an X on that. Of course, they put this big orange warning to scare you. Ignore it. It doesn't matter. I just paste that in. Now these will run usually every 30 minutes approximately throughout the day. So this will be watching your account for you and watching your campaign for you. So this is rule 2. Turn it off if spent is greater than 2 times your previous trigger point. And purchases is not less than 1, but greater than 0. And CPP, or cost per purchase, is greater than your trigger, the minimum you want to spend to get a sale over lifetime. Great. Good. Now we've got our first 5 ad sets set up. We've got our rules set up to manage this. Now what do? How do we run this slow and steady campaign? Well, now we have to go in and we have to schedule ad sets to run. And we schedule 5 per day, except for Mondays. We skip Mondays. Mondays suck, so we're not going to do Mondays. If you really want to do Mondays, start them at like 6 o'clock at night on a Monday. Otherwise, just do every day of the week except for Monday. In this niche, Mondays just don't work. And you know why? What's the logic behind that? There is no logic with ads. It's just what works and what doesn't, and what you've run and what your data tells you. So how do I do this? Go edit your last one, quickly duplicate, and now we'll go change this to number 6. We're going to set this one to start on the 19th. And maybe we like the married and thing, so let's do married and fishing. But there really is no limit to what we can do. 19th, 12 o'clock a.m., married and fishing. Done. And now this one, I might change the date on the ad to the 19th. So then I go here and I go, okay, I need 5 more. I need 4 more. So people are saying, can you slow down the video? I know I'm flying through this, but you have replays. And the replays, I want you to go through the replay and I want you to listen to what I'm saying and pause it. And then go into your account and do it. Then start it up again. Then pause it. Go and do the action. Then pause it. Start, pause, start, pause, start. Because I can't really sit here and go through super slow because we'll be here for 3 hours. I know I whipped through this and it looks scary, but it's not. That's why I'm putting the replay up so that you guys can all go through the replay at whatever pace you want to go through it. Okay, hope that makes sense. I do have you covered. I do understand. I fly through this because it's like riding a bike for me. I've done it literally thousands and thousands of times. If it's your first time through, you might be going, whoa, what did he click there? What do you say there? What do you do there? Why do you do that? Just go through the replay and you'll be good to go. All right, so I'm just going to finish off these next ones. So this one is number 7. And I'm going to say, let's not get stuck into any one specific way. So let's go here and let's do, oh, this is a good one too. Jesus, why not? 11 million people. So I'm not a religious person, but a lot of people are, and more power to them. So I'm going to target them. And then I could go down the religious route a little bit deeper if I wanted. I'd go Bible, Christian music. I could start taking out like pastors within there, whatever I want to do. But I could also get into stores. So I'm bouncing around because I'm trying to get you guys to not go down any single rabbit hole yet because we don't know what's going to sell. So Cabela's is a sporting goods store. So why not target that? Let's go down here and let's go like this. Let's say, well, now a whole bunch of sporting goods stores are starting to show. What about Bass Pro Shops? That's cool. Let's do that. Go up here, paste. So I need one more to start on the 19th. And let's go with, what else we got in here? Life coach, maybe. You know what? I've never tried it. Let's try it. Oh, that's job title. That's really small. No, I don't want to do that. Let's go with something else. Oh, love. Hey, that's a good one. Love, 20 million. Good. So the suggestion area on the targeting is your best friend. Click that all the time. Then you're gonna have a bunch of stuff pop up that works really, really well. So do that. So now I've got the 19th done. Review and publish. And now you might be thinking, okay, now I need rules for that too, right? Yes, but they're already created. So any new ad sets that you put into this campaign, those rules that we just created are going to apply to them because the rule is based on the active ad sets within the campaign. So now your rules are going to be shutting things down and they're just going to let the profitable stuff run. So out of like 5, maybe 1 or 2 are going to work. Okay. So um, the rest are going to shut down and then 5 new ones start the next day and the next day and the next day. So your job now is to go in and schedule out 5 ad sets to start every day except for Monday. Okay, and the rules will take care of it. So how do you scale this? You keep scheduling 5 ad sets per day, slow and steady. That's all you do. Eventually, you will have in this campaign more profitable ad sets running than test ad sets. So if tomorrow it runs and say, oh, we like 1 out of 5 is actually profitable and it stays running, the other 4 shut down. So now we've got 1 profitable and we've got 5 new tests coming in. That means our profitable stuff is outnumbered by our tests. But then after 2 weeks or a week or 2 weeks, all of a sudden the tables turn and it flips to where you've now got a whole collection of profitable running ad sets running all the time, and your test ad sets are just a small percentage of the overall campaign ad sets. At that point, the slow and steady really starts pumping out profits for you nicely. So in the beginning, it might be slow, unless you get lucky, but you have to stick through it. You have to slog through the downtimes. It's very rare now to have a campaign just like launch to the moon right away and you hit everything correctly right away. It can happen, but it doesn't happen, so we have to build it. So good campaigns are not launched, they're built. They're created, they're nourished, and they're nourished with money and time. So if you don't have money and time, then you can't really do paid ads. So you're thinking, well, what if I don't have that budget? What if I want to go slower? Okay, then lower the 20 to like 5. You can do that. Now, it's going to take you even longer for those rules to hit, right? So now if you have a $5 ad set running per day and your rule is to turn it off at like $30 spent, that means each one gets 6 days. So are you going to sit there and over 6 days, you're continually adding ad sets every day? So you're going to drive yourself crazy because at the end of 6 days, you've got 6 times 5 is 30 ad sets running at $5 per day. That's 150 bucks. So why not bump up the ad set spend a little bit to get the data faster so that we get rid of the crap faster and we find the good stuff faster. So how much you spend per day, that will affect the velocity of your campaign. And the one thing I find, the biggest thing I find, is that when people first start, they're terrified to spend money on ads and they just pull the trigger way too quick. So they'll let it run for like a day or two or three, and then they go, whoa, I don't really have much off. Turning it off, that didn't work. Well, that's the wrong thing to do. Don't do that. These methods are proven. These are not theory. These are what I use all the time. It's just I've seen it time and time again where even if the slow and steady starts out crappy, it'll turn the corner. It will. All right, so I'm going to take some questions here, and then we're going to wrap it up. I thought I'd go way longer than an hour, but the next one is probably going to be over an hour because I got like the CBO thing, and then the scaling thing, and then the retargeting thing. So yeah, next live training is going to be a long one, but hopefully I don't have a cold by then. So let's scroll up here. Looking at the questions. Yeah, when you rewatch it, yeah, just slow it down, pause it. Your fingers were flying. You lost me. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry for that. So slow and steady, you want 10 ad sets now instead of 5, right? No, 5 per day. So I've got, notice the new ones, they're all scheduled to start on the 19th. And then the first batch is scheduled to start on the 18th. The rules are only for the slow and steady. Yes, correct. So with these ads, Rocket or slow and steady, are you splitting your $10 or $20 daily budget amongst all the individual ads, or is that what you're spending on each ad daily? For example, the Rocket method, you're spending 10 times 15 ads equals 150 a day. Yes, that's right. So that's where I say too, if you don't want to come out of the gate spending that much, you don't have to. You're just going to move a lot slower. So on the first campaign for the stage one of the Rocket method, if you lower that to like $5 a day, and you do like 10 ad sets instead of the 15 I recommend, you're going to get results. But the results won't be as solid as my results. So it is possible to tweak this stuff down so that you can spend less money. But the spend less money thing is your brain saying, oh, I'm just burning money in this. I can't throw away money like this. And spending money on ads is just a waste. And it's just money down the toilet. And that's because most people who've never spent money on ads before don't understand what you're doing. You're buying data. And then you take that data, you look at it, and then you act on the data that you bought. So if you don't buy enough data, you're making decisions on incomplete information almost. So I understand it's hard, and I understand the emotions kick in and you go, well, that's too much to spend. And so reframe that and say, is it too much to make? Because when you say it's too much to spend, that means you don't want to make much. And you have to spend money to make money. So the only way around that is to like either start small and be super patient, or just dive in and go, okay, I trust what he's saying. I know this is going to work. As long as my design's good and I follow what he says, we'll be good to go. You're not on your own here. So you've got that. So your mindset will shift as you gain experience and you gain confidence and you gain insight into what's going on. So it's a multi-step process with the Rocket method. Even the slow and steady is multi-step in that we're launching multiple ad sets every day. So yeah, it's hard at first, and you look at that and you go, whew, that's way too much. But say you spent $150 and you made 200, so you got 50 profit. Now is it too much? Or now do you want to spend $300 per day and make $100 profit, right? So we got to spend this to get the sales, to get the data, to move on to the next step. And that's how you scale these things. And it gets to the point where you're like, once you get one under your belt and you experience it and you go through those emotional roller coasters and you're refreshing your screen, you're looking at your numbers being spent, you're looking at money going out and you're panicking, the panic goes away. And eventually it moves to, all right, spend it. Let's see what you got, Facebook. And then move that to the next phase. And then we'll make money there too. So the goal is to get sales. It's not to just blow money. It's not to light money on fire. All right, so let's go here. Retargeting, yes. Retargeting, I'm going to show you my whole sequence. When will we have this in the forum? I need to look at those rules again. That'll be this afternoon. So GoToWebinar they basically render the whole video, and then I post it. Looking forward to scaling. Right on, Lucas. How do we know that we have a converting design? You get sales. If you don't get sales and you don't get add carts, it means your design is way, way off. Now, if you launch a campaign and you don't get a single add to cart, I suggest you post it in the forums. And you're like, well, people will copy me. Well, they're copying something that didn't get a sale. So who cares? You'll learn from it. So if you post something that didn't work, I can go in there and go, all right, so what do we do here? Let's examine this. Did we use the format I suggested and the niche I suggest with the method that I suggest? If any one of those are a no, I'm going to go, well, you went down a different path here. Doesn't mean it's not going to work. It just means it's a different path. So let's look at your targeting now. What did you do for interest? Did you do a carbon copy of what I did? Or did you go out and pepper in a couple of your own unique ideas? What happened there? Did we set everything up right? Do we have and then once you put that up, but it does start with the design. If the design is crap, it's not going to work. So I've even coached guys where they're like, I do not want to pay for a design. I can do it myself. And then they do like 5 or 10 of them and they set up ads and I look at, and then I'm like, hey, show me the designs. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, no, don't do that. That's not good. Like, good for taking action, but that's not good. Like, I can tell right away that's not going to work because everything's off. Some designs have too many colors and that doesn't work. So many designs are too complicated. That doesn't work. So there are some little things and nuances that you can look at a design right away and you can go, either it's got a chance or it doesn't. And even if I say it doesn't have a chance, it doesn't matter, because if your numbers told you it's not working, then that's definitely when you want to put up in the forums and look at. And that's what you guys have. You got me. I'll go look at it. On your Teespring dashboard. Oh, I thought you put that in when you uploaded it. So when you go to edit the campaign on the Teespring dashboard, you can put in your pixel ID right in there. Before you add another 5 ads the next day, do you expect to have some sales the first day? Yes, I expect to have sales every day. My goal going into any ad I put up is sales. I expect sales. When I don't get them, I'm not disappointed anymore. I'm annoyed because I'm like, come on, Facebook. I know this works. Like, get your butt in gear. Find the right people. And then I'll just put more ads up because I'm like, okay, you blew it that day. I know you'll work, but come on, man. Yes, my expectation is always to get sales. It's not to just toss in money and donate it to Mark Zuckerberg. If I have multiple designs running, do you suggest running them in a PPE campaigns initially with about $5 per ad set to determine which ones are winners, and then set up the winners with the rocket method and slow and steady? It's an extra step. I wouldn't bother. The PPE stuff is all social. So, and I know there's guys that suggest that first to test it to see how people respond. The only problem now is those people that are responding, they're probably not the buyer market that you're after anyway. So there are people that just love to comment and like and share stuff on Facebook, but they never bought a thing in their life. And if those people are all saying, oh, that's so cool, that's so cool, that's so cool, but they're not going to buy it, then who cares what they say? It's the buyers we want. And sometimes the buyers are the quietest ones. So yeah, I used to do that too with PPE, so page post engagement, and I would see like which one got the best reaction. But now I'm like, no, I'm just going straight for the sale, because what am I in this for? Reactions? I can't deposit reactions in my bank account. I can deposit sales though, like the the revenue generated from sales. So I understand it's a method. I would just skip it and go right to the purchase. Teespring retargets for our products or for their own products? They retarget for our products. Yes, they do. Yeah, good campaigns aren't launched, they're built. Yes, that's the problem with a lot of people. They think that you just launch it and it's done. And I launched it and it failed, so that method doesn't work, but that's not it. You launch it and then you have to feed it. You have to nourish it. You have to manage it, and then it'll work. So if it comes out of the gate tripping all over itself and flopping on its face, that's okay. That was just out of the gate. That was just day one. Doesn't mean it's over. It just means it had a bad day. And it could be it's just the day of the week, time of the day. People, maybe some event happened in the world and people are not happy. Maybe it's like recently it was Labor Day and I'm coaching a guy And he's like, okay, I want to launch on Saturday of Labor Day. And I suggested, and we talked about it, and I said, I don't want you to because it's Labor Day. And he's like, we both agreed, yeah, people are at home, they're on their phone, they're happy, they're barbecuing, it's end of summer, kids are going back to school, it's a wonderful time of the year. My only problem is my data shows that Labor Day sales stink because people are maybe they're on their phone avoiding their family, but they're not really buying anything. So I don't know. Some other holidays people do buy a lot. That particular one they don't. So we skipped it. We launched on the Tuesday following the Labor Day, and it worked. It worked a lot better than trying to launch over a holiday. So let's see here. Test designs. Yeah, these are the designs that we're putting up. The stage one is like kind of the test phase. So I showed you one that I launched. If that one fails, should I just quit or should I say, okay, that one didn't really show signs of life that I wanted. Let's go back to the drawing board. Let's do another one. And what I say is, 30% of the stuff that I launch is an actual winner, and maybe one of those three is a big time winner. So the little winners, they do work, they profit, but the big time winners do really, really, really well. And there is just zero doubt that it's a big time winner. What I'm saying is, you can't just launch one stage one rocket method campaign, look at it, it fails, and you quit. If you do that, you're never going to make money online. The only reason that I do a little bit better than the majority is because I've failed more. And so if you want to do better, you have to fail more because the stuff you put out there, not everything is going to work. I hate to tell you, but no matter how good you are at this, even me, some of the stuff I put out, it just plain old doesn't work. And I'm like, what the hell? Like that should have worked. And it doesn't. But I don't get down about it. I just go, okay, well, that one didn't work. On to the next. And it's always on to the next and the next and the next and the next. And then you might be going, well, what if I'm on to the next? I'm like in the hole big time from ad spend. Then what do I do? Well, you can quit and you can never recover it, or you can keep going and you can look at what you're doing. You can post designs for review, you can post campaigns for review, and will help you. Because sometimes it's just one or two little tweaks. That's how far away people are from actually hitting the winner. So it starts with design though. So I would suggest get 5 to 10 designs done and say, I am going to test 5 to 10 designs. I'm not going to test them all on Monday, but set up one a day for like 10 days straight, except Monday. Out of those 10, you're going to have like 3 of them that are probably going to be pretty good. And one of those 3 is going to be a big winner if you're doing everything right. And if all the stars and the moon and the sun align. So don't expect to go into this and just knock it out of the park on your first step up to the plate. Like whoever did that, the first time you're swinging a bat, you're going to hit a home run. I don't think so, unless you're super, super lucky. So you have to go up and you have to practice your swing. And then you have to time everything. And then you have to go up to the bat and you strike out a couple times. But just because a baseball player strikes out doesn't mean he never takes another crack at it. Just because a basketball player misses a 3-point shot doesn't mean he never takes another one. It's that's the way it goes. Same in business, same in this. So you're gonna fail. Get used to it. Accept it. And just on to the next. That's what you got to do. All right. I hope that helps everybody. We're going to close this up because I got to get this replay up. Oh, here's one. How far will you go in the slow and steady before you pull the plug on a design? Ooh, that's a good question. I will basically give it about 3 days. So about 15 ad sets. And if after 3 days it's not showing anything, I'll just kick it to the curb and I'll go on to the next. Because I think 3 days is enough time to show me something, like add to carts or purchases at least. But give it a couple days anyway. 3 is good. All right, I'm going to get this up for you. Thank you everybody for coming on. I apologize for my cold. Hopefully next week I don't have one because we've got a monster of a webinar to go next week. So questions, post them in the forums. The replay's going up. Like I said, go through it, hit pause, do the step, and then play, rewind, whatever you want to do. You got full control over that. And you can even, the beauty of where I upload them, like YouTube, you can speed up the playback or you can slow it down. So my voice will go like, bro, 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 or I go, so I know when I watch videos, anything, a webinar replay or anything, I literally set it to 2 times the speed because I can't stand sitting there listening to people who talk too slow. So I try and moderate my speed, but sometimes I get excited and I go too fast. Sometimes I slow down too much and people fall asleep. So that's the beauty of it. You can adjust the playback speed too. All right, we're going to close with that. I will report when I get sales on this. And then next week, we are going to be moving on to stage 2 and the retargeting. And actually, I have to hit scaling too. So, man, we got a lot of work to do. But go ahead, get some tests up and running. Get those tests. If the first one fails, don't worry about it. Second one fails, don't worry about it. Keep going. Do at least 5 to 10 before you throw in the towel. All right. Even then, don't throw in the towel. Post it up for review. It will help you out. Awesome. Good stuff, guys. We will see you soon. Have a great day.